the way Hollywood presents sales is just not real. If you can recall the most popular sales movies that are out there, the two that stick out in my mind is number one, which is Glengarry Glen Ross, great movie, as well as The Boiler Room. We're presented with salespeople who are hard closers. They are pitchmeisters. They master the art of rebuttaling and objection handling and hard closing. And the problem with that perception of sales is that it just doesn't work with real people, especially in the context of life insurance. The reason it doesn't work is because, first of all, not everybody who sends a card back is actually going to have the capabilities or the desire to actually sit down and buy something from you. But the other reason that it doesn't work very well is the nature of the product we sell. This is the other reason why it's very important to pre-qualify. Because Mildred will always wake up tomorrow, and if she has buyer's remorse, which is very easy to get if one is pushed into something, they can simply call up the company and cancel the deal. You're not going to be able to babysit every feeling they ever get to cancel their policy. And so what happens, and where I kind of changed my approach to doing this business, was that why do we have to have this concept of constantly pushing people into something that may not be something that they want? Why don't we then change our approach to selling and try to meet the needs of the prospect, figure out what works for their budget, figure out what they really want to accomplish, and to do all these things right away in the beginning of the sales call without going into an entire pitch just to find out the person's broke, the person doesn't want what you want, and maybe they can't even admit that they don't want what you want to sell them, and they just aren't qualified for some reason. Why do all the frustrating work that traditional sales training teaches us when we could just bypass it all and focus on finding out as quickly as possible if the person we're sitting across the table is actually a qualified buyer, or qualified prospect at least, who matches our criteria for buying, or if they're an unqualified suspect that may look on the surface of being a prospect, but they're missing a crucial element. And what that comes down to is figuring out how to determine who's the best odds prospects to deal with and take your time working with. That's what my goal is in teaching pre-qualifying, because that is the critical element to success, in my opinion, in maximizing your time, having a more pleasurable and delightful experience selling people, but also having the pride and the good feelings of not having to waste your valuable time with deadbeats that really all they do is suck you dry if you're not careful.